So one of the key challenges in building with generative AI is knowing where it excels and where it falls short. And one of the things that AI is generally accepted to be pretty good at this point in time is summarization. One of the challenges that our customers face is digging through large amounts of precedent material or clause libraries armed with only a keyword search and maybe a few metadata filters. And that got us thinking, what if we could use generative AI to summarize clauses down to the key legal features that they discuss, and then use those additional filters to search on? And that's exactly what we did. So let's look at this in practice, and we'll use ClauseBuddy's samples hunt for this because it contains hundreds of thousands of sample clauses and is therefore a prime example of the challenges of searching through such a large volume of material. For example, if we search for a basic confidentiality clause here, we are going to get thousands of results, more than 1,000 in any case, a list longer than we can be bothered to read through it. And yes, we can indeed filter on a couple of metadata filters, like we could say that we only want confidentiality clauses that stem directly from, for example, a share purchase agreement. And we could then also say that we want relatively recent clauses indeed, but that still brings us down to 118 different clauses. That's still a list that we don't want to go crawling through. So what we can instead also ask is to have the AI read through all of these clauses and essentially boil them down to their basic constituent elements, which you can see is happening on the screen right now. So the AI is going through all these clauses, identifying which clauses talk about what. And as soon as the AI has finished going through those individual clauses, what we are then left with is basically a list of ingredients for the exact right confidentiality clause that we need, that we just need to select the right ingredients to basically form the recipe. So let's do that, right? So we'll obviously want to talk about confidentiality obligations. Immediately, you can also see that some clauses are disqualified because of that choice, right? Because they don't talk about that specific topic. Then we could also say, well, we also want to talk about, obviously, about permitted disclosure, survival of confidentiality, and maybe something on return and destruction and things like that. And ultimately, what we are then left with is this particular clause specifically. If we read through it and then find that there are still some things missing, obviously there's another AI application that we can use here where we just provide some additional instructions on maybe some additional paragraph that could be added. But at the very least, we've basically brought down a list of potentially thousands of clauses down to one single useful clause.